Hi everyone. I'm like, this is new for me. All right, so what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna do a video on who you should be worried about at this particular time. Like who may be, acting as a frenemy, or there's just somebody that you need to be truly concerned about and their motives. Now, I'm not gonna keep it so complicated. This is pile A and this is pile B, okay? Now, what I have here, these are my little worry dolls, okay? So for those of you who are like, oh my God, look at these dolls. No, these are worry dolls, okay? Essentially what you do with these dolls here is you tell them your worries, you tuck it under your pillow, and by the morning, these dolls are supposed to take your worries away, okay? That's all these are. Some people might be like, oh my God, it's a voodoo doll, you know what I mean? But no, they're worry dolls. Now, if you really want to creep somebody out, as I, love to mess with those people who think I'm up to sinister things. Sometimes I like to stick a needle in one of them just to pretend. But hey, to each his own, okay? So you guys can go ahead and pause, pick which worry doll really stands out to you, and then that'll be the pile. Remember, this is pile A, and then this is pile B. Okay, so go ahead and pause, take time to meditate on which doll calls to you, and then that will be the one. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with pile A, okay? Now let me see here. Let's get her out of the way. Alrighty. So I chose 5 cards from my Witch's Tarot. I'm like, this is completely new to me. Okay, Ace of Swords there, the Devil in the reverse, 4 of Wands in the reverse, okay, and then we have here 8 of Cups, Ace of Wands. Very interesting. So for pile A, somebody here is wanting a fresh new start, wanting something completely new, okay? And that is extremely wonderful. However, is that new is not going to come so easy for this, for pile A, okay? Let's pull more cards here. Oh, we got a house. For some of you, you might be dealing with having to sell a house, find a new house. You might be in that position, okay? Let me see here. Family room. And this might have to do, with family as well. Maybe you're in the position where, maybe you have a toxic family and maybe somebody has passed away and now you're just like, okay, well, what are we going to do about the house? And then, people are fighting about that. Or maybe you're just simply in a relationship where you're leaving now and you're like, okay, I need to go secure my own home. And then also maybe there's a fight about the house as well. Okay, let's see here. Wow, look here. We have here settlement, agreement, compromise. Very interesting. Love, adore, admire, enchantment. And gossip. Ooh. It says here petty, jealousy, and envy. All right, so for pile A, what I'm getting is that the people that you need to be very mindful of can either be family members, okay? Or maybe if you're in a situation where you are now divorcing or breaking up, possibly, and let's just say that your person has now moved on, that person that they're with, they're talking shit about you to that person, okay? And then vice versa. That's how it's going down. So a lot of rumors being made up, a lot of gossip being made up, okay, about you. Now, if this is just simply about family is talking crap, feeling like they're justified and they got their business up, they got their nose all up in your business, and it's just like, you don't even know what really went down. And even at that, that's still our business, okay? Now let's see here. We have here the child that was meant to be. And then we have here fated to suffer. Very, very interesting. So the person that you might have, and let's just stick to one scenario, then we'll jump into the next. If you're in a situation where you're leaving a very toxic relationship, because with the Ace of Swords being here in the reverse, This just basically talks about being spoken to or just being treated very unfairly during the relationship. And with the shadow side being here in the reverse, the devil, okay, this is like basically you taking control of your life now and saying, I no longer want to participate in your negativity. Like, I want to rewrite my life, because once upon a time, yes, we were happy, okay, and we were in love, right? But that is no longer, because it's possible that you started to see, as time went on, you started to see this person for who they truly were. And ultimately, walking away from this person was not the easiest thing for you to do, but you had to do it. You knew that it was right for you, emotionally speaking, mentally speaking, and spiritually speaking, okay? Was 100% scary, leaving that security, that safety net that you always knew? 100%. Okay. And is it possible that you yourself have been a product of, childhood trauma and have observed things, and then, got yourself into a situation where you're just like, wow, that really doesn't work for me, but might have worked for others. And I don't know how they got through that. But for me, it's just not working in this lifetime. Okay. Now the Four of Wands always talks about a relationship ending. And again, it does talk about a house. So for those of you who, may have shared a home, or maybe, your name wasn't even on the home, and you're just like, well, damn, like, where do I go now? How do I do this? I got these kids, or maybe you don't have kids, whatever your situation is. Okay. But either way, this is all about feeling very unglued at the moment and trying to, feel the ground beneath you during all these changes. It's like trying to get your life together, trying to get, everything in motion, and trying to get everything right. Now, kudos to you for finally taking this sword here. And I'm going to hold it up in the upright and slain this devil, because the devil ultimately is a lie. It's just our fears. It's just the things that we tell ourselves, and it's just the things that maybe we saw growing up, and then also things people may have put in our head, telling us like, maybe you're not good enough, you can't do it, or anything negative that really fed into your position into staying into a very toxic relationship. So kudos to you for picking up that sword and finally making that decision. Now, for those of you who are like, well, I haven't really left the relationship, I still got one foot in and I still got one foot out. Well, at least you're there. Okay. Some people are just still here. You see these two people, they're still hiding, even though like they literally could, with that light behind them, that, being their safety net, that being their new blessing. They're just kind of hiding and scared and still, not making those moves. So kudos to you. Okay. Now, as I was talking about that new beginning, so for those of you who have made that transition in terms of love, okay, just know that, anything and everything is possible. Every new beginning, doesn't come so easy, but you will be able to, get back to what feels normal for you. Yes, it will be hard. Yes, you will have your moments. Yes, you will break down, but the main takeaway here is to always get back up. So for those of you who are leaving a very toxic situation, now this may not even be a love situation. Let's just say that this is a family situation where you're like, you know what? I can no longer have you guys in my life. And I need to do what's best for me. I need to move on. I need to grow. Those of you who are looking for something new and on the journey of, self-discovery, just know that everything is going to work out, okay? Now, we have here settlement. And again, for those of you who are in the situation with the house, it looks like there will be an agreement. There will be that, okay, fine. You get this, I get that, and let's just call it even. And it is what it is. And then just go from there. So for those of you who are still like pretty much fighting about the house, just know that eventually you both will meet in the middle somehow, some way. Okay. And for those of you who are like, I just don't know what I'm going to do, about a house. Like, I don't know where I'm going to live. I don't know where I'm going to stay. You will eventually land on your feet enough to secure your own spot, whether that be an apartment, whether that be, a house, a tiny house. I really don't care. You know what I mean? But you will have something over your head. Okay. So that's amazing. Now, with all separations, there are always, you know, his side, her side, and then, you know, somewhere in the middle is the truth, right? So just know that there's a lot of gossip and a lot of jealousy that is going on right now. So jealousy in the form of, you know, you making moves that, you know, you never thought that you could make, and people kind of hating on that. And then also jealousy, you know, coming if you've left your family or your loved one, just know that there's jealousy on that part as well. Okay. And envy, there will always be envy for, you know, somebody trying to uplift themselves and do better. All right. So now we have here fated to suffer. So you got into a situation. Now let's focus again. We're back on love. If you were in a relationship where, again, if it was very toxic, this was a relationship here where somebody kind of lured you in and made you feel like you were everything to them, and then all of a sudden they pretty much, pulled the rug right from underneath you and fooled you, okay, over a period of time. And this person knew exactly what it is that they were doing. They were very manipulative. They were very cunning. So just know that this is not something that was just kind of like, oh, you brought it out in me and I'm just going to be this jerk. No, this person was like, saw this in their childhood, okay? Saw some form of trauma or some form of aggressiveness. And then this person grew into this harmful person, this toxic, negative person. But again, how they, pretty much presented themselves to you was like, hey, I'm good, you know, everything's great. And then as time went on, you saw them for who they were, okay? Now, we also have to explore your trauma as well, because there's something about you that allowed this person to come into this life. So the child I was meant to be is essentially like, you know, somebody who was supposed to have, you know, that childhood, that good upbringing, but something, you know, happened along the way. So then when you grew up, instead of healing those traumas, you began to, you know, cover them up with people, with things, or, or just basically hiding from yourself and from the world. So with that being said, for pile A, let this be a healing moment for you. Let this be a healing year for you. And just know that you can overcome anything and that your new beginning is just on the horizon. Okay. All righty. I'm like, okay, pile A, come through. All right. Now let's move on to pile B. What do we got here? For those of you who chose pile B, my little man right here. Okay, let's get him out of the way. All right. Let me see here. The hangman. Ooh. The hangman in reverse. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Ooh, 5 of Cups in the reverse. The Fool in the upright. 3 of Wands. Knight of Swords. Okay, let's see here. And who do you need to watch out for? Let's see here. Toil and labor. A main female. Now, main female, this could always be like friend. This could be mother-in-law. This could be your own mother. This could be maybe the person that you're dealing with. They have a child's mother who's just very unbearable. Okay, so just it really does depend, all right, what your situation is. We have here drastic, extreme, harsh, and cut off. Okay. Divine feminine. Wow. Pressure cooker, rage. Interesting. Let's see. Blinded to pain. And then we have here gilded regret. Okay. Now, what stands out to me is that for pile B, you're a very, very strong energy. Okay. Now, I'm only talking to the strong ones. For those of you who are like, look, I'm still on my way. No, I'm talking about those ones that are like, just, there's something that they possess that no matter where they go, people just hate. And you can't explain it. It is what it is. It's like they see something amazing. This is a very unbothered energy. So pile B, you are very unbothered. You're very strong. You're very, but also at the same time, you can have your opinions, but you're not one to really like rub it in somebody's face. Even though you have all this goodness about yourself, you're not one to, pretty much rub it in somebody's face. You're very humble, okay? But don't get it twisted, because that divine feminine, she can go like, tick, tick, boom, okay? If given the opportunity to do so, all right? Now, your energy just tends to piss a lot of people off. Let's just start there. It tends to piss a lot of people off. And pile B, you just cannot be contained for so long. So the person that really needs to, that you need to be with is just somebody who will let you be free, who will respect your time, who will respect your space, and also, who will value your opinions and your thoughts. Okay. So I see what's going on here. Okay. So you may cause a lot of jealousy in a lot of different people, and it could even be your own mother. Okay. There's something about your energy where you could just be a go-getter. Okay. And if it's not your own mother, again, there's something that you do to females where they feel like inferior and you're not trying. That's the crazy part, is that you're not even trying, but people seem to find and pick and create scenarios that are not even there. But you think the divine feminine gives a fuck? Sorry. You think she's like, look at her. She's like, I'm just, sitting here doing me. I'm still glowing. Like, you cannot. And people, as much as they try to bring you down, it's like, it's so stressful to them. It's so stressful to them. It's like they can't even break you down as much as they try. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, they go, okay, plan B didn't work. Okay, well, plan C is going to work. Nope. Okay, let's move on to plan D. Like, these people can never really get underneath your skin. Okay. And so I feel that they jump to drastic measures to really that's what I'm saying. They make up these crazy stories, or, say things about you that are not even true, or again, just, feel the need to compete with you, but you can't compete with somebody who already is a divine feminine. And that's the crazy part. So you have all these lost females who are watching you, and they're, slowly but surely becoming jealous of you. Okay. And what's so crazy though, is that even when things go wrong in your life, you know how to pick the pieces back up. There's a strength about you that, even when people do hate or they are talking crap, you're just like, okay, and you still win in the end. That is crazy. Now let's move on to the story here. So there is a sorrow though that comes with, that divine feminine energy. And it's a sorrow of almost being misunderstood when it comes to that. Okay. So you may feel sometimes very alone and very sad when it comes to, certain people and their opinions about you. Okay. Now with the 5 of Cups being here, some of you may, go to certain things to try to console yourselves with, but not for so long, because what I do see here is that as soon as, like I said, as soon as you get down, you get right back up and you get moving, and then you get planning, and all those things that are like in motion. You're just like, okay, you know what, I was down, I was feeling like shit, but you know what, I'm gonna get right back up. And then what's crazy is that you make it happen. Okay, you just make it happen. There's something about your energy where you're just like, I'm going to put myself out there. I don't care how stupid I look. And that's what's really irritating to these females. Okay, so to where, and how can I explain it? It's like, where some females think of life in a certain type of way. You view the world completely differently. So their view is so minute in comparison to yours. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So for pile B, you will always have a lot of female energy that will always be hating on you, unfortunately. Okay, unfortunately. It is what it is, okay? And you're not one, and here's the thing with that Knight of Swords here, it's like you make shit happen. You get up and you go. You're determined, okay? And sometimes, yes, maybe some things may not work out, but like you got up and you did that. Where most people, they don't even do half of that, okay? So I love this for pile B, because I'm like, look at this. They cannot compete. They just cannot. All right, so the females, okay, it's a feminine energy that is a hater, okay. Let's see here. They have blinded to pain and gilded regret. And let me just sit with these pictures for a minute, because I'm like, I want to look at this one too. Look at this. This is just bitter. Bitter Betty right here. Bitter Betty in the house. So, there's a lot of jealousy surrounding you, a lot of envy surrounding you. And it comes from these people that are very bitter and very unhappy and are hell-bent on making others miserable. Okay? There's a lot of missed opportunities for these people in life. And they regret a lot of the decisions that they've made in their own personal life. And this is why when they see somebody who's really a go-getter, who puts himself out there and who creates and does wonderful things, this is why that hate is coming towards you. And there is a beauty to you. And I don't want to be like, oh, the physical beauty. No, there's a light inside of you that is extremely beautiful. And that is what irks people as well. Okay, so that's the beauty that just kind of like comes out of you. And again, it's not anything that you're, trying to rub in anyone's face. It's just who you are. And it's just who you've always been. Okay. Let's see here. I feel sorry for these feminine energies that are hating, because they've been blind their whole life. Their whole life. And they're still blind to this day. Look at the roots that are growing underneath this blindfold. And look at the flies that are literally like, flies only really attach themselves to shit, right? And things that are rotting. So these people are just rotten to the core. And they're so blind in their hatred and in their life that this is what they do. You know what I mean? And God, this is just a sad individual here who has not only done this to you, by the way, for pile B, but has done this to lots of many others. So you're not the first one to kind of, pretty much come across their hate, but you are the first one to be like, bye. You are the first one to just be like, okay, and so you presented a challenge where they were used to collect. Look at all those flies. I view that as all their victims as well. So you presented a challenge. So see how like there's all these flies and they've kind of like gotten caught on there. And then, but there's one fly here that's just like, I'm just going to stand out from the rest. That to me is very that, I don't know, that feels like your energy where it's like you're that one that they could not really pretty much stop, is what it looks like, or belittle. It's like you kept doing you, which is amazing. Wow. And not for nothing, but these people are very closed-minded as well. These feminine energies are very closed-minded to where they only see things their way or the highway. Okay. And I can also add, you know, my hangman is my delusional card as well. Okay. So there's a sense of entitlement and delusion when it comes to this individual. Okay. And they have lost so much in their life, and they do suffer from like depression and sadness. And this is also something else that they're projecting out onto others. Okay. So, you know, they're going to continue being nasty, hateful people, and pile B, you're going to continue being unbothered. Alrighty. So that was my reading, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, this is like my first time doing this. So yeah, so thanks, guys.